You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. It's Roland Martin Unfiltered. By going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com, you can make this possible. Let's talk about our next story. So again, I love these people who love, we love the military until it's time to do something about them. Let's talk about something needs to be called out. A Virginia student, black girl, who had accused her classmates of cutting her hair and using racist insults last week, now admits that she made up those allegations. The family of the 12-year-old student who made the accusation said in a statement via the school that they sincerely apologize to the accused boys and their parents for the pain and anxiety caused by the allegations. The school also has talked about that. A lot of people, of course, when this story came out, Avis, were speaking in support of this young girl. Now we know it's a lie. That has to be called out.
Yeah. I mean, it's really disturbing and sad that she did this for whatever reason she did it. Because, once again, it makes it harder when people who are legitimate victims of assaults, which happens, in educational situations, to be believed. And so whatever whatever going on in her personal life, or maybe what other traumas that she may be experiencing at that school that she wanted to maybe bring attention to in this dramatic way, I'm hoping that that is resolved. But it's unfortunate that she went forward with this story. And as a 12-year-old, with her face out there now shared with the world, I am just concerned about, how is she even going to be able to move on with the rest of her life without having this to continue to come back up and be used against her in future years.
Derek, of course, this is a school where Vice President Pence's wife is one of the teachers there. There were many people who immediately spoke out about this. And the reality is, when somebody makes up one of these stories, it has a negative effect on the next time something actually happens. And that's what's also shameful here.
That and the fact she's 12 years old and she was able to come up with the story. And we are so quick to believe. And so now we all have to backtrack on this whole thing. And it's really sad. So I wonder what's going on with the young lady that she felt like she had to go this far with a story like this. And I mean, is there something else going on with her? Is there something else going on at the school that maybe this can shed some light on? But it's unfortunate it happened this way. It's unfortunate, that they had to, when I saw the story, the biggest point was it's the school that Vice President Pence's wife teaches at, and so that was it seemed like that might have been one of the bigger issues as opposed to what really happened to her.
This young lady, they've acknowledged that she had been bullied. So that's one of the things that was going on. Nothing is right about her making up a story.
No.
But there is much wrong about the situation that so many young black girls find themselves in where nobody hears them, and she's been bullied. I was with two young ladies this morning.
Well, we don't know she's been bullied.
Well, okay,
No. Initially, she said she was bullied and they cut her hair. We now know that's a lie.
But
we don't know.
But there have been allegations, Roland.
No, there were allegations, but these were allegations that proved to be a lie. So I'm not going to say she's been bullied if we don't know that.
Well, here's what we do know. Obviously, someone who comes up, who makes some stuff like this up, is troubled. We have to go to the root of the troubling. What we do know, or what I do know, what Avis knows, is that young black women are not accepted, acknowledged, affirmed. So if the only way that this child could find affirmation was to make up a lie, then we have to unpack that. I certainly would not say she was right, because so many people, as you said, basically immediately said, oh, this is horrible, or what's going on here? I mean, we're all yelling and hollering, we're upset, and we were ready to believe it because of the climate we're in. And so because of the climate we're in, we weren't ready to believe if this stuff has happened before.
Yeah.
So we were ready to believe it because of the climate we're in. So there's a lot of unpacking to be done. We condemn the young lady with love because she's 12. We can say, you can't do this mess again, girlfriend. We commend her family for their very responsible apology, which I think was affirming of the boys and their family. We commend the school, but we also say, let's get to the bottom of this. Young black women are being slapped in the head every time they turn around. And so, while this is horrible, there's also, where there's smoke, there's some fire. So let's find the fire.
It is true that oftentimes, this is a very interesting situation because it's a private school. I'm sure that she is like a micro, quote unquote, minority in that school, right? And just having done some research on Black girls in similar situations, we do have a very specific sense of isolation in those types of environments. Whereas when Black boys are there, oftentimes they are unfortunately brought in because of their athletic prowess,
and
they are celebrated in those environments. Black girls are typically there primarily because of their academic achievements, but they aren't celebrated because of that. And they have a hard time not only fitting in culturally with the school specifically, but also have a hard time fitting in romantically. Because those Black boys who are brought there aren't going after the Black girls. Hello. They're getting attacked and mobbed and going after the white girls.
But
and so there's a very specific sense.
At 12?
At 12, at 10.
You're in middle school. At that time, you're starting to look at the other, you're starting to want some attention from the opposite sex. And so what I'm suggesting here is there's a very unique experience and a very lonely experience that Black girls face and experience in hyper-segregated situations, which it seems like this school provided. And maybe she couldn't handle that situation and was crying out for help in this very unfortunate way.
Again, unfortunately, when you have people who come to this woman's aid, who raise their voices on this, and it turns out to be a lie, it hurts when it actually happens.
Absolutely.
And that also has to be called out and said, because there are a lot of people right now who are now saying, who apologizing on social media, who initially took her side because of the initial story. Because the reality is, when these things happen, most of the time they are true. But when it's a hoax, it actually also hurts us and the next young boy or the next young girl who said something, because when they do raise it, the person go, well, the last time the girl lied, and it's hard to believe the next person. All right, folks, back to our Roland Mark Unfiltered video in just one moment. All right, you heard me talking a lot about marijuanastock.org. Why? Because I want to keep you informed of investment opportunities that make sense. We've all watched the growth of the cannabis industry. A recent report by New Frontier Data estimates the global cannabis market at more than $340 billion. And we know that marijuana legalization is sweeping the country state by state. We also know that marijuana has a good cousin, the hemp plant, with a much higher concentration of CBD. That means hemp gives you all the medical benefits of marijuana without getting you high. Until recently, hemp farming was practically illegal in the U.S. and heavily regulated by the DEA. That all changed with the 2018 Farm Bill, now making it legal to grow hemp CBD. What do they need? Land. And this is where our folks at 420 Real Estate come in. Their business model is simple. They buy land that supports hemp CBD grow operations and lease it to licensed, high-paying tenants. That's right, they are hemp CBD landlords, and you can get in on the action. Now, what they've done is something special for the Roland Martin Unfiltered family. You can invest as little as $200 in this crowdfunding campaign. Originally, the minimum investment was $500, but you can invest as little as $200 up to $10,000. Again, this is a $340 billion industry that is still growing. You can participate with as little as $200. To invest, go to marijuanastock.org, marijuanastock.org. Get in the game and get in the game now. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video.